Alright, hello. This is my Disney Villainous villain ranking video. Up at the top here is Dr. Facilier. He's the easiest one in my experience. And then we go through like you're reading a book down to the hardest one. So we have at the easiest one Dr. Facilier, Prince John, Ratigan, Queen of Hearts, Captain Hook, Evil Queen, Maleficent, Pete, Mother Gothel, and then Cruella de Vil, Ursula, Jafar, Hades, Usma, and then Scar. Um, those ones down here are the hardest, and then it just gets easier as you go up, or harder as you go down. But yeah, this is not at all like based on fact. This is all based on my personal opinion and my experiences playing against or playing as these characters. Alright, so for the easiest character, we have Dr. Facilier. He is ridiculously easy because all he needs are these three cards. Um, Basically, you just have to play the talisman to anywhere. You just have to play it because it's an item, and then you play, or you get this card and you play it to put Rule New Orleans into the fortune pile, which is just a separate pile from your discard pile, and there's many cards that have different fortunes. This one, if you control the talisman, you win. So this one you put into like a fortune pile, which goes down here, and then you just have to be at the Voodoo Emporium, and then you can just play the cards will tell, which takes the top two, or you shuffle this up, and then you take the top two cards of the pile, which if no one fates you, it's just going to be this card, and then if you have the talisman, you win the game. So it's just a really easy, you can win on your third turn. It's Dr. Facilier. That happened to me. I got all three of these cards in my starting hand, luckily. And my first turn, I played Talisman. Second turn, this into the fortune pile. And then third turn, cards will tell. So easy to win. So, because of how quickly you can win, that's why I chose to put Dr. Facilier at the number one spot. Next up is Prince John. He's the second easiest because his goal is literally all about just collecting this, which is very easy when you have a spot that gives you 3 and a spot that gives you 2. Really, the only thing that's difficult is the fate thing. They take your power away and then reduce the power you get, but most of the time you have cards that allow you to imprison things or gain power from like there's conditions like this one, which allows you to play an ally for free so you don't have to spend it. You can do imprisonment, and then there's cards that allow you to gain power from all the heroes in your realm, so your incentive is not really to kill them, but to just imprison them, move them here, where there's no things to do up here, so that they can't really mess up with you or mess with you. So he's just really easy. He wins most of the games he plays because his goal is just so easy and so trivial. Alright, Ratigan's third easiest. This is mostly because of his goals. You just have to start your turn with the Robot Queen at Buckingham Palace. The Robot Queen is 15 power to cost, and the main part that makes her so difficult to get out is just the cost, but there's cards like Gears that reduce the cost of items by 3 power, so if you get all 4 of them down, Robot Queen will be free. You just have to place her here and then move her down all the way to Buckingham Palace. But there's a card called Basil. When you get fated, it discards the item. So when played, it would discard the Robot Queen, which makes you think, oh, well, how are you supposed to get him back? Well, you don't have to, because Ratigan's objective flips over when the Robot Queen is gone, and all you have to do is kill Basil. And since Basil is 6 strength, he's really easy to beat. So it's just the Robot Queen. Moving her all the way down is really easy, and then when they do mess you up, Basil is really easy to kill as well. So that's why he's third easiest, because every game he's played he's actually won, but we haven't played him a lot because we think He's just too easy. So, yeah. Next up is the Queen of Hearts. This one's also one of the easier ones. She's 4th on the list because all you need to do is get 4 card guards, 1 in each location. Then you have to activate their ability, which turns them into wickets. So once you have 1 wicket at every location, you play Take the Shot, which is just 1 more card, and that you tally up all of the strength in your wickets on all the locations. So most times you get somewhere around 8 to 16-ish. You'll get around there, and then you take the top 5 cards of your deck, then you count up the cost of all of them, and if the cost of these 5 cards are less than the strength of the wickets, you win the game, which is very easy. You don't have to wait to start your turn, which increases the chance that you just win on your turn, so you don't have the winning conditions set up, and then it has to go all the way around where people can fate you and mess with you, like most other characters. So this one's more easy than the other ones. Alright, next up is Captain Hook. He's 5th easiest because Peter Pan is immediately played when he's revealed, which places him here. This is normally locked when you start the game, but you just have a Neverland map that you play to unlock it, and then from there you just move Peter Pan over and over until you get him to Jolly Roger, and then you have to vanquish him. So it's a very easy condition to win, and his strength is 8 power, which makes him more of a difficult one to play. There's also stuff that makes him stronger, but there's stuff that which forces you to target other heroes before you target Peter Pan, which could mess up your game, but generally it's not that hard because you have so many allies in your deck that are strong, so you mainly just get rid of 1 ally to defeat another hero, and then you still have like a few more here to vanquish Peter Pan, which makes him really easy. Alright, now we have Evil Queen. She's 5th on the list. This is because her objective's really easy as well. You just need to get the 4 ingredients: Old Hag's Cackle, Mummy Dust, Scream of Fright, and then Black of Night. Once you have these 4, Dwarf's Cottage is unlocked. All the while you're just brewing potion or poison by doing just that with this icon here, and then once you find Snow White, she's just played here, and then all you have to do is play Take a Bite, which is just another card which allows you to use 4 poison to kill Snow White because her strength is 4. So she's just really easy to win with because you can brew as much poison as you want. And then once you have all 4 of these ingredients, there's also extras in the deck, so if one gets discarded, it's not the end of the world. And then all you have to do is find Snow White, which is really easy because you have Magic Mirror in here somewhere, which allows you to just grab her and just throw her down. So Evil Queen's really, really easy, but she's a little bit harder than the others because there's other stuff that the fate actions do that can hinder, take away your poison, or make Snow White stronger. And just the whole idea of finding these 4 could be difficult when all of your ingredients are at the bottom. But she's still easier than most of the other villains. Alright, next up we have Maleficent. She's not that hard, but a little easy because she has these 3 curses, which you need 1 at every location. Each curse has something that they do for you and something that they do against you. Like this one, no heroes can be played there unless they have 4 strength or more. So they can't play a hero here if you have this here, as long as they are 3 or less. But if they do have a 4 or more hero, then it just discards this card. Then there's other things with these too. Like this one, you can't move to this location, otherwise it gets discarded. So you have to strategically know where you want to go or need to go, so you play curses that don't get that don't get discarded when you move there. But the one thing that makes her difficult is the Fate deck. Almost all of them have something to do with getting rid of your curses. There's only 2 or 3, I think, that don't affect your curses if you have them down. So you just have to know where to place things and where to go to make an effective use of Maleficent's abilities. But she's relatively easy because there's a ton of curses in your deck, and most times you'll have a lot of them down, and some of them no one can do anything about. Alright, now we have Pete. He is 8th, which makes him the direct middle of the spectrum. So what makes him just easy and what makes him hard? So first, the part that makes him easy is, well, these goals are very simple with the cards you have in your deck. You have an absolute ton of bandits, these guys, and they allow you to play as many as you want on one turn. So for the strength goal, 10 strength at one location, you can play 4 of these down in one turn, as long as you have them all in your hand. Or the pay 6 power in one turn, you just play 3 of these in one turn. Have 1 ally at every location, you can play them all down, 1 in each location, all in one turn. Then play a game. It's also easy because most of the cards in your deck cost 2 or more. So it's just, he's very easy. It's just knowing what to do and when. The item one's probably the hardest one because there's 1 item for each location, and then finding how to move them all the way over can get difficult. But he's generally easy that way, but he's difficult because of the Fate deck, obviously. With Mickey Mouse in your realm, you cannot complete goals, so this one messes with you. Minnie Mouse also does. You can't discard an ally or item, or she discards an ally or item, so when you have the item goal, when you only have 5 of them, there's 1 extra one, but when you have 5 of them, it can get very difficult. And then there's other things in there, but Pete wins, I'd say, about half the games that he plays. I don't think he's easier than the others, but I definitely think that he is a lot harder than the first 7 that I showed you guys today. Alright, next up is Mother Gothel. She's more difficult because you have Rapunzel, which is a Fate card that's cardboard, and that's because she's always on your board. At the end of your turn, she always moves 1 closer to Corona. So after 3 turns, she's already here. And then if you don't move her back, you start losing trust, which is basically your objective. Your goal is to start your turn with at least 10. So you gain trust by using cards in here. But most times, if she has nowhere to go at the end of here because there's no more board, you lose a trust every time you end your turn. But you have allies that allow you to vanquish Rapunzel, which basically just moves her back here. You also have cards that keep her from moving at the end of your turn, so if you play that, she won't move at the end of your turn. You also have items and stuff that allows you to gain trust when she's here. So it's just, getting 10 is also difficult because your Fate deck gets rid of some. So you just have to be careful on where you move her and how. Alright, next up is Cruella de Vil. She's more difficult because you have stuff with these puppy tokens. There's cards in your deck that allow you to reveal them, so you just flip them over and keep them in the supply, or it allows you to pick one and then add it to its location. So this one's the Radcliffe house, so that's where it goes to that location. So you only have 2 allies, and those are I forgot their names, but one allows you to get a token from the supply and add it to a location, or capture 1 token, and the other allows you to collect 2 from 1 location. Horace and Jasper, that's it. So Jasper, you capture 2 puppy tokens at the location, and this one just add a token to a location or capture one. So they can go to any location, like that one goes to the milk farm, to the countryside, and then there's one that goes to Hell Hall and stuff like that. So you have to find a way to move all of your allies over to capture as many as you can, because you need 99 of them. But that gets difficult because as you get adding, like this isn't even halfway there, and it already is a lot. And then you have stuff like Pongo, which when played you can't capture tokens there. And there's other stuff like Flew the Coop, where it takes one away from your captured and then places it back down. Or no, adds it actually to the supply, which makes it even harder. So it's just, I don't know, it's difficult. I have a hard time winning with her because of how many of these you need and how you don't know which ones they are until you flip them over, and then when you get faded constantly, it gets worse. All right, next up is Ursula. She's just a difficult one. I, for some reason, can't get a win as her. I guess I'm just that bad, but you just need to have both the crown and the trident at Ursula's lair and start your turn to win. But when you play the trident, what's his name comes out? King Triton. He gets played. So that just makes it worse. And then the only way to get rid of heroes is binding contracts, which when played to them, you have to move them to a location and get rid of them. This location is always locked, so there's always going to be one location that's locked. This one, or when you play a card, it moves the lock from here to here. So it's just having to manage which one is locked and which one is open makes it difficult. And then getting faded over and over is an absolute nightmare because there's stuff that just makes it so much more difficult. I always find myself having the crown at the location, but I can't find the trident. And then I'm searching through the entire deck, and I get down to like 4 or 5 more cards in the deck, and I still don't have it. And I get faded, and then Flounder comes out and just shuffles my entire discard pile and deck together, which just resets all of my progress, shuffling my entire deck together, which just completely obliterates the game. Which is why I think Ursula is deserving of 5th hardest villain. So yeah. Alright, next up is Jafar. He's one of the more difficult ones because of a couple reasons. One, there's just so much you have to do. Like, this is always locked, so you have to play the Scarab Pendant to unlock it. And then you have to play the Magic Lamp here. And then when that's here, the Genie gets played up here. Then you have to hypnotize the Genie by paying his strength and power, which to start is like only 6, but they can fate you to make it even stronger, so you have to pay even more power to hypnotize, which is already difficult because you have 2 and then 3, and this doesn't even give you any, so that's a mess. And then you have to move the Magic Lamp all the way down, but they have 2 cards, Abu and Aladdin, which end up getting rid of or taking the lamp until you vanquish them, and then you get it back, and then you have to keep moving it. So it's just a whole lot you have to do in such a short amount of time when you're playing with other people. Alright, now for Hades. Hades is 3rd hardest because you have 5 Titans in your hand. These are only 3. But you have 5 of these, and what you have to do is play. Each one gets played to the underworld, and then you have to move them down all the way over to Mount Olympus, which is a whole lot of moving. And there's also fake cards that trap them, which basically they can't move until you untrap them, which is done with a specific card. Or there's ones where you can be here, and then you get faded, and they take it, and they move it all the way 2 spaces away, which just makes it even harder. But I don't know. He's just one that's really hard to win with. I don't think anyone that I played with won as him until about 2 months later, I think, which is a crazy amount of time. especially when Hades was in the box that I first got. But yeah, he's just one that's really hard because of the Fate deck and just this sheer amount of moving you have to do when there's only 2 move locations and then 1 can get covered by heroes. Alright, next up is Usma. She is second hardest because of 2 things. One, you have to find Kronk in here, which isn't that hard because you have cards that immediately just find him. But when you do find him, you have to find the dagger, and then you play that to him. And that's because to kill Cusco, Kronk isn't strong enough. Cusco's 7, Kronk is 6. So you need to play this to give Kronk another strength, as well as using cards to look at your Fate decks, which are split up into 4 locations. You have to look at them and go, okay, which one has the person I want? So you have a limited number of cards, like this is where he is, so this is the one where you'd want to play a certain card to play all the heroes here, which, yeah, but a lot of the times I struggled finding him because there's cards that allow you to, or allow other people to shuffle 2 of them together and split them apart, which when you know where Cusco is and then shuffle 2 together, you don't know for sure where he is anymore. There's other stuff that shuffles all of them together, so it's just a very, very difficult one to win with. And then if you play Kronk to the, like here, because this is where he is, but then they get rid of Cusco and they move him all the way over here, you have to move him all the way over, which puts tokens on him, which when 3 gets put on him, he gets turned into a hero that you then have to I believe vanquish and then move him back. Yeah, so then you have to bring him all the way back, and so it's just, I don't know, it's very difficult to win as him, or as Usma. Alright, so last up is Scar. He is arguably the hardest one to win with, and that is because of the Fate pile. So you have Mufasa. You have to kill him first to start your succession pile, to then add other heroes that you kill here, and then this has to tally 15 strength or more. But that is all made difficult by Rafiki, Rafiki's Stick, Hakuna Matata, and then Prophecy and all that. It can take stuff out of here, replay them, make you target Rafiki first. So if you have Mufasa, Rafiki, you have to vanquish for Mufasa. Prophecy makes him stronger. It's just a whole lot of stuff you have to do. Vanquishing is very difficult because you only have 1 vanquish spot, which is not very much. And then you just have a ton of allies that make battling and vanquishing easy, but I just find getting 15 in one game and then starting my turn is very difficult against other heroes or other villains who are much easier. I played about 20 games with Scar before I won, so he's just very difficult to win as. Alright, here they all are on their respective boxes. I have this here so you can just see which ones are in each box, to give you an idea of which boxes are more difficult, which ones are harder. Quick rundown. This box has about 2/3 of the easier side of things. These 2 are the 2 hardest, and this one's one of the easiest, so this box is like on the extremes. This box is 8, 9, and 10, so this box is more the difficult. This one has the easiest character, like number 6, and then one of the more difficult ones. Alright, that's it for my difficulty ranking. Thank you for watching.